Welcome back! Today we're going to learn how to solve simple linear equations and how to use those equations to solve real-life applications. Our first exercise, solve for the value of x in the equation 2 times quantity x plus 5 all over 3 minus 8 is equal to 30. Okay, first I'd like to point out the numerator 2 times x plus 5. Let's get away with the parentheses and just distribute 2 to each term inside the parentheses. So that would become 2 times x, which is 2x plus 2 times 5 would be equal to 10 all over 3. And then just copy down minus 8 equals 30. Okay. How do we solve this problem? First, let's use method 1. What is method 1? If you look at the equation, you have a denominator 3. Denominator means there is the operation, there is division. The inverse of division is multiplication. So if we multiply both sides by the same number 3, then we're able to eliminate the fraction. So times 3 on both sides of the equation, and that should give us 3 times the original expression, quantity 2x plus 10 all over 3, and then 3 times 8, 3 times negative 8 equals 30 times 3, which should give us 90. If you look at the left side of our equation, you have 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. So that means we can cancel out the 3. That was the main reason why we multiplied both sides by 3. We are left with 2x plus 10 minus 24 equals 90. We can simplify the left side of the equation further. Okay, if you look at 10 and 24, they're both constant, so they are like terms. Let's combine like terms. That should give us 2x. So 10 minus 24 is 14. That should give us 2x minus 14 equals 90. Our goal is to solve for x, so we are going to isolate 2x by eliminating minus 14 on the left hand side. Using inverse operations, you add 14 to both sides of the equation. We should be able to cancel minus 14 and plus 14. That should leave us 2x equals 104. Now, the inverse of 2 times x is dividing by 2, the coefficient 2. So if we divide both sides by 2, 2 divided by 2, that should leave us with 1x, or simply x. And then 104 divided by 2, that should give us 52. Okay, what does this mean? X equals 52 equals the solution to the equation. It makes the equation true. But how do we know that? How do we know that it's really 52? Okay, take note of the question, because I'm going to pose that again in the second method. Okay, let's continue using method 2. So how do we solve 2 times x plus 5 over 3 minus 8 is equal to 30 using another method? You see the minus 8 there? So we are going to use the inverse of minus 8 to eliminate that from the left side of the equation and then simplify, like in method 1. Oh, let's see which of the two methods is more efficient, or which one do you prefer. So you have 2x plus 10 over 3 minus 8 equals 30. Let's just copy that down here. Remember, we got the 2x plus 10 from the previous steps. Just distribute 2 times x and 2 times 5. Okay, now, and next step would be to eliminate minus 8 on the left hand side. So let's add 8 to both sides of the equation, and that should give us 2x plus 10 over 3. Let's cancel minus 8 and plus 8, and we should get 38. So 2x plus 10 over 3 is equal to 38. Now, how do we eliminate the denominator 3? Just like in step 1, the inverse of division is multiplication, so we multiply both sides by 3. Okay, so 3 times 2x plus 10 divided by 3 simply means we can now cancel times 3 and divided by 3. So that will give us 2x plus 10 is equal to 38 times 3 would give us 8 times 3, 24. Carry 2, that should give us 114. Now simplify the left hand side of the equation, again using inverse operation. So the inverse of plus 10 is minus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides of the equation. We should have 2x, cancel 10, plus 10 and minus 10. That should give us 2x equals 104. Okay. Solve for x by dividing both sides by 2. We have 2 divided by 2 should give us a 1x, or x, equal to 52. Did we get the same answer as the first method? Okay, so both are the same, x equals 52. That should tell you something. However, remember my question, how do we know that x equals 52 is really the solution to the problem? All you need to do is plug in or substitute x equals 52 back to the original equation x. And if both sides equal 30, then that means x is equal to 52. Which of the two methods do you prefer? In example 1, we tried to solve a simple linear equation using two methods. We are now moving on to an application problem. How are we going to solve or use linear equation to solve a real-life problem? So in this example, 4 friends used an online discount coupon to get a $20 discount on a Nike Air Max 97 men's shoes. They spent $600 for the 4 pairs of shoes. What was the price of one pair of Nike Air Max 97 shoe without the discount? We are going to solve this problem using a 4-step problem-solving approach. The first step is to state what is the problem about. What are we trying to solve? What is given in the problem? For the plan part is the strategy. Now, how do you plan to solve it? How do you plan to find the answer? What strategy are we going to use? The do, how would your solution look like? What's the evidence of your thinking process? And then the last part would be conclude. Did you answer the question? Let us now try to do the second part of the process, which is the plan part. Our plan is to write an equation using our table here above. So the problem says the four friends used a discount of $20 to buy 4 pairs of shoes, which they paid with a total amount of $600. We are asked to find what was the price of 1 pair of shoes without the discount. So what's the original price of 1 pair of shoes without a discount? Okay, so where do these quantities go in the table? There are 4 pairs of shoes. 1 pair is $20. That means if there were 4 pairs, so 4 times 20, they got a total of $80 discount. Do we know what's the price of the original pair? We don't know that. That's what we're looking for right now. But we don't know that they paid a total of $600 for the 4 pairs of shoes. For step number 1, we are asked to write an equation to represent the problem situation. To solve an equation algebraically, first we must define our variable. Now let's represent the question mark here as the unknown with x. So let x be the original price or the original cost for 1 pair of Nike Air Max 97 men's shoe. So expensive, right? Okay. Now, how do we write the equation using our variable and the quantities from the table? We said they bought 4. So let's take that into account. 4 times, so let's use parentheses for the multiplication part to demonstrate a group or a quantity. So 4 times the original price minus the discount of $20, that is P minus 20 or X minus 20. We deduce X. Close parentheses equals $600. But we said 80 here, right? How did we get 80? If we are going to go to the next step, using distributive property, we multiply both sides. We multiply 4, distribute 4 to each term inside the parentheses. So that we would get 4x minus 80 equals $600. So that's your 80 right there. The equation that we can use to represent the problem is 4x minus 80 is equal to 600. We were able to write the equation to represent the problem situation, and we said we represent x, the original price of 1 pair of shoes, and we came up with the equation for x minus 80 equals 600. Now we're going to solve the equation for x minus 80 is equal to 600. You have to isolate for x, so we add 80 to both sides. Why add? Because the inverse of minus 80 is plus 80. That should give us 4x. Okay, cancel out minus 80 and plus 80. So you have 4x is equal to 680. 4x means 4 times x. So the inverse of multiplication is division. Let's divide 4x by the coefficient 4. Let's do that also on the other side. 680 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1x, or simply x, is equal to $170. Okay, what does that mean? So one pair of shoes without the discount, or the original price of one pair of shoes, was $170. Does this make sense? Did we answer our question? So this is step 4 of the 4-step problem solving approach: state, plan, do, conclude. Does it make sense? Okay, let's do numeracy, or mental math. If the original price was $170 minus a discount of 20 per pair, that should be $150, the discounted price, times 4 pairs. The 4 friends bought 4 pairs in total, and they paid $600. That's it for today. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe so that you'll get a notification for our next math video.